Alrighty guys, what's up? It's Biohazard Candy Kid coming at you here with another great video. And in today's video I got a little surprise for you. Um, this is a very cool product. It's an old product. Um, what I mean by an old product is these type of products have been around. Oh God. Well, I'm gonna say this. These products have been around since at least the late 70s, early 80s. It's a portable music player. Okay. But this one is an MP3. It's not a portable tape player, which I do have one. I'll review that one day. But this is a portable tape player. I got it off of Amazon, and this is not the case for it. This is just a case that I found laying around the house, which is perfect for it. So this is it, and stuff like that. And this is the case that it comes with. It's a very nice case. It's rubber. It's kind of like that old school rubber that they used to give you with cases that were just durable, reliable. They were shaped just right. And stuff like that. Uh, so the company is called Mechen. Let me see if I can show that correctly. See if it's coming in clearly. Mechen, Mechen. They're a Chinese company. Yes, Chinese. I'm going to say something about the Chinese real quick. Um, I've actually researched China. I've researched their history. I have researched a lot of Chinese culture because I'm interested, just like I'm interested in all cultures of the world. There are a lot of inventions. There are a lot of things that have been invented by the Chinese long before Western civilization was born. Uh, just as old as African civilization, just as old as Indian, you know, uh, Middle Eastern. I mean, they invented so much from the time China began as a little village to where they are now that it's ridiculous. And there's a lot of things that you would be like, nah, this was invented by some German or by a Spanish guy or Japanese or some guy in Africa. Nope, this or some American. No, a lot of stuff was invented in China. Gunpowder, for instance. If it wasn't for the Chinese, we wouldn't have gunpowder. Pasta is not an Italian thing. Pasta is a thing that came from China. It basically uh, happened when Marco Polo uh, went to the east, went to China, brought back noodles, and then in Italy they kind of came up with their own variation of noodles and pasta and whatnot. And they didn't use rice; they used uh, what they use in Italy, which is like semolina and then flour and all that stuff made out of wheat and stuff like that. Pizza, it's not from Italy. Pizza is not from America. Pizza is actually a Chinese and Middle Eastern dish. You can actually look this up. I think it began in China and then worked its way into the Middle East. And when the Europeans traveled to the Middle East, they found uh, some dish that was made on like with bread and had some toppings on it. Now, yes, okay, in Italy they had kind of their own thing already, but it wasn't like what they were doing in China and the Middle East. And then what they did in Italy already during the Middle Ages, uh, and what they brought back from the Middle East and China, they kind of meshed the two together and came up with kind of the pizza. But the modern day pizza was invented in America, then transported back to Italy, and then the Italians took that and mixed it with what they were doing, and then you get the modern day pizza that we have all over the world. A lot of the fishing equipment, a lot of the ways we do fishing, there's a lot of fishing gear that was invented by the Chinese. So, hey, look, I went to school with someone who was Chinese. He was a cool dude. He came, he wanted to be educated, wanted to speak English. His English was pretty good for him speaking mostly Chinese. He was cool. He actually taught me a lot, you know? So I don't have a problem with the people. I don't have a problem with the general population. And I'm talking about the good people in China. I have a problem with the bad people, which is the government, okay? But China produces MP3 players. Now, why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this because everybody today uses a cell phone. Everybody. Whoops. Okay, let me turn that off. I think I was recording my face too. But everyone uses a cell phone today. Okay, they use it because it's convenient. Because you have the internet right there. You have YouTube. You can go on YouTube, listen to music for free. Or YouTube Music or Spotify or all these places to listen to music. But you know what the problem with these are? This wasn't a problem in the late 90s to around 2006 because the iPhone really hadn't taken off until like I would say 2010. The smartphone didn't really take off until 2010 when you really started to see Android and iOS compete, Samsung, Apple, and all the other brands. But from I would say like 90 uh 98 to 2006, you had a bunch of phones that were flip phones, slide up phones, fixed phones like this. They didn't flip up, they didn't slide up. And um, they could literally play music, but and have their battery life last for like 4 days on a single charge. Now I understand. Today we have applications. These apps need to have a bunch of power. I understand the fourth industrial revolution where basically it's going to require so much energy. I understand. But also, at the same time, there have been companies today that have produced cell phones, smartphones, with headphone jack, with speakers, with big batteries, or with small batteries, and the cell phones last 3 days on a single charge. It's Verizon sold one a long time ago. I forgot what company. I don't know if it was a Razor, not Razor, but it was some brick phone. But it had speakers. It had a headphone jack. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember seeing this commercial on TV and on the internet, and it had like 2 days or 3 days of battery life. It was ridiculous. So it can be done. It's just they don't want to. They want to make it to where your battery only lasts half a day, and then you have to keep recharging it so it wears down the battery. It's a whole scam, you know. So everybody uses these, but they suck on battery life, and also it requires internet connection. It requires a service connection. A cell phone was originally intended for calling people, texting, uh, music, videos, all this other stuff we have in cell phones. They're all afterthoughts. They were afterthoughts back then. No one, wanted to put a camera on the back of a phone back then. Nobody did. Uh, you know, they had like front phones. Yeah, sure. Some had, cameras on the back, but it was an afterthought. That's why they were shit back then. I still have my Samsung flip phone from like, I think it's 2008, 9, like right after I graduated high school. And I remember the little camera that it had. You can only take a picture, and sending it was was just like you send it now, but it was, oh my god, just to view it on a phone. And you couldn't download the pictures onto your computer. It wasn't like today. Excuse me. So like I'm not an advocate for people using their cell phones while they're working out at the gym or while they're at home or while they're out at the beach or at a party or whatever, just sitting around. Just no, because this should only be used, for emergencies or, yeah, okay, let's say You're on an airplane and you download some movies and you want to watch it on here. Okay, sure, I get you. You know, um, but seriously, come on. There's better options out there today. So that's where this comes in. A little MP3 player. MP3 players are really good. I mean, let me get this in focus. Jeez. Uh, oh, there we go. Okay. And you know what's really cool? You know what's really cool about MP3 players? I'll tell you what's really cool. Okay. Something that a lot of you don't know. Okay. Apple was the biggest manufacturer of MP3 players after Sony, because Sony created the Walkman, the little tape player, and then they created the CD player. So we had a bunch of CD players and tape players in the '90s, but we also had MP3 players towards the end of the '90s. I remember my friend had one that was like a little long tube, and the screen was like a little miniature screen. You could barely make out the words, and it was just enough just to display the name of the song. That was it. And it was a little tube, and then at the end of the tube, you stuck your headphones in, and then at the other end was like a power button. It was almost like a USB stick type of thing, but it was a little bit larger than that because it had a screen. Then I remember the Sony Walkman MP3 players that came out towards the end of the '90s, early 2000s, and Steve Jobs didn't even want this. He was like, "This is not the future." He's like, "This is a piece of crap. I would never build an MP3 player." But then it happened. And Apple created the best thing ever. The only thing Apple did in its whole entire career, in its whole entire entirety, that was correct was an MP3 player. Everything else they should have never dabbled into. Computers, tablets, phones, watches, printers, whatever. Apple just sucks at make just hey, look, I know that there's this or that fallacy of Microsoft or Apple. I know they're the same. I know they worked alongside each other, but I will say Steve Jobs is a piece of shit just like was a piece of shit just like Bill Gates, okay? I've always hated all his other products. The only thing I ever liked was his iPods, and I had a bunch of them. Now they're long gone um, due to some unfortunate events. But oh, and I also had a speaking of MP3 players, speaking of iPods, I also had a Sansa SanDisk MP3 player, a little black one that had a little wheel on it. The wheel didn't scroll; it was just like a wheel shaped thing, and then it had you just click up, down, left, right, in the center, and it was pretty cool. I had that before I had the iPods. Um, and I had the iPods with the little cameras in the back. I had the ones that were gloss colored, glossy, and then the ones that were like matte. So I had both. Actually, no, I had the ones that were gloss colored that had the cameras in the back, and then I had a matte one that was black. The other ones were two pink ones and a blue one. I got one for Christmas. Got one off of a one. Those machines that you put in $1, you try to win the prize. I got one off of there, and then I got another one for like 30, like for super cheap at a kind of like a Goodwill Salvation Army store. Like they were getting rid of whatever. But anyways, so I didn't have MP3 players since then. So I basically was using my phone. And I knew MP3 players were still a thing because I would go into like Walmart. I would go into like Rite Aid, uh, Target, and I would see these cheap like 19.99 $20 like little MP3 players, that said like 16 gigabytes, stuff like that. But I always thought, okay, well, these are like the last, like that's it. No one's selling MP3 players. That's old school. Uh, and plus these ones are probably really shit. They're not like the iPods. So I'm not going to get one. I'll just keep using my phone. But then I said, you know what? Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. So I looked online and I found that there's a bunch of MP3 players. Sony still makes MP3 players. I mean, Sansa SanDisk, they still make MP3 players. Zune still makes an MP3 player. So I was just like, wow, okay. Well, I wanted to get one that was like my old iPods. Uh, and I found a bunch that were knockoffs, but from what I researched, from what I read, not just the reviews on Amazon, but I also read forums. I went all over the net. I basically saw that the ones that were lookalikes, they literally copied iPod, except they didn't copy the scroll wheel. It was just buttons, like an up button, down button, left and right button. Um, they were shit. I was just like, okay, nope. And what I didn't want an MP3 player that was basically a small miniature tablet that had apps on it. It ran Android, iOS, whatever. I wanted just a regular old MP3 player like my old iPods or my Sansa SanDisk or the Zune or the Sony Walkmans. And so I stumbled upon this, and they have many colors. I mean, they don't have like what iPod had, like Apple, where they had like 10 different colors, but they got enough colors here for you to select, you know, and pick and choose from. They have a website. Mechen actually has a website which is in English. Of course, when you go online, it'll show it. Um, it pops up in Chinese, but when you click on the link, it's in English, and it's a very well thought out website. As a matter of fact, let me show you the website. Let's see here. Whoops. Huh. Alrighty. Okay, so you can click on this one right here where it says Product Center. But if you click right here, if you see right here, look, it's all in Chinese, right? But then we're gonna open up a new tab. Watch. Sorry, it's acting a little slow. Look at this. Doesn't this look kind of like professional? Like, whoa, they display all their products right here. I mean, they even have audio recorders. As a matter of fact, we're going to get into audio recorders. We're going to get into their products here. Look at this. I mean, this is well thought out. I really like Mechen. See, these are all the colors you can get with that MP3 player that I have. The MP3 player I have, as a matter of fact, I'm going to take you to it. They even got manuals, tutorials, support, contact us. Um, so what I have is the M3. Okay, it's an MP3 player with Bluetooth. Um, it has a lot of features. Here's the one I have. I mean, let's see. Here's the next product page. See, they even got ones that look old school. Like, this looks like something from like early 2000s. This one looks kind of like the old iPod knockoffs. See, these are the ones that run Android. I don't want that because I know the battery life is not going to last because it runs apps. It has like, and what's cool about this, the ones with the apps, is Mechen allows you to delete those apps. You cannot install apps onto this product, but they allow you to delete all these apps on here if you don't want them. That's really cool. I wish smartphones did that. Fucking Google. Um, and Apple and all the other ones. But so I didn't want, and I didn't want these pocket ones. I had a pocket size, like well, they're all pocket size, but I had a clip-on iPod too, the ones without the screens. I didn't want one of those. This one has a screen, but I wanted something just a basic old, uh, MP3 player. So this is what I got. 64 gigabyte storage, portable voice recorder, multifunction MP3 player, upgraded Bluetooth 5.3, hi-fi lossless sound quality. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, just look at the images. I mean, it Are there any issues with this? Because a lot of you are probably going to ask questions like, oh, well, this Chinesey, it's cheap, is this, any issues? Yeah, there are issues. The issues are with the touchscreen. They're with the user interface. The user interface is fine, like meaning the layout and all that. You can navigate pretty easy. You you can find things. It's intuitive. It's made for the user. Okay, it's not made for some scientist in his lab down under. But like the touchscreen is like when you touch the the pause and play button, it's it's not very accurate on where you touch it. You kind of have to find where the touch is. But I deal with that. Look, that doesn't bother me. Okay, it bothers me in terms of yes, I wish they made. I wish they adjusted that. Maybe in the next one they should, you know, make it better. They should actually fine tune it. They should make the product better. In the next version. They should have done that in the first place with version one, and made it perfect. But look, this is the way of the world. Man's fallen. Nothing we can do about it except, say, hey, look, in the next version, can you make this better? Can you improve on this? And, that's it. It's got a 2.280, let's see, a 35-inch, 50, it's got a good size screen. And stuff like that. Let's see. What else? So see, these are the colors it comes. I know I showed you the other colors. Um, but these are the colors they're showing here, I guess. Oh, why? Oh, okay. So see, there's like different ones. Like I guess this one is like a. Hmm, that's weird. It's the same thing. Cause I didn't look at all the pictures. Yeah, this one. It's the same thing. Yes, sir. So it's just different. Okay. All right. So this is what I wanted. So this is actually how much they are. Um, let's see. So you see, look, there's like all these like a Gyptech kids MP3 player, 32 gig. Like there's all these weird, name looking ones, F20 Hi-Fi, whatever. But oh, what is it? But I went up here and I found Mechen, so 36 bucks. I don't remember what I paid for mine because the actual page that I got mine from is no longer there. It says a product unavailable. We don't know when this is going to be back in store. But I got it at this color, light blue, because I love blue. It's my favorite color. And I mean, it's a very good product. I mean, see, look, multifunctional MP3 player. Look, music, video, radio, Bluetooth, record, ebook, folder, settings, photo, stopwatch, alarm, calendar, and theme. Wow, that's a lot for an MP3 player. That is like whoa. Like imagine if they added a camera to this and you could upload the photos. And imagine if it was like even a good like 16 megapixel camera or 8 megapixel camera, in the rear. Just imagine a little tiny camera that's 8 megapixels or 16. No, not even maybe 16, maybe 12 megapixels, Man, 12 or 8. That just think about it. Like yeah, then it wouldn't be an MP3 player. I get it. Then the camera would make the battery life go down. I get it. But just think about it. Like adding that feature with what it already has. Um, I'm not going to bore you too much with this. So let's see. So see, like I read the reviews here also, but I don't just take these reviews and say, okay, I'm going to buy it. Okay, I'm not going to buy it. I actually do my research. Um, but like he said, this guy said right here that the speaker was terrible. Works good but clunky interface. Yeah, that's to be expected with something like this. Um, but do you know what's so great about this? Do you know why this is a great MP3 player? Do you know why? Uh, um, Do you know why a uh crap, what was I gonna say? You know why I'm telling you about MP3 players? So this is the Mechen for 36 bucks. It's originally 40 bucks. I think I got mine on sale probably for maybe 30 bucks or whatever, but um do you know why this is such a good product? Do you know why? Because one, the battery life. The battery life, and these aren't in any order. The battery life on these is freaking like I'll tell you this. I've had this for over a few months. I did not charge this. I did not charge this at all. And I charged it fully, okay, from when I got it. I used it a bit, and then I just let it sit. Like I charged it once more, of course, but then I let it sit. The battery didn't even drain. Like it drained within like 2 months to halfway. Like halfway. Like I just started using it again, and like the battery still didn't even drain when I started using it again. That's how long this lasts. Like literally, I let it sit there. If I was to let my phone sit for like a good 2 months without using it, I know it would drain. Because cell phones, today, what we call smartphones are just cell phones. They're just, these kind of cell phones, they literally they don't last that long, even if you let them sit there. And I've tested that myself. So this lasts a long time. So the battery life is one thing. The other thing is it comes with a headphone jack. Like most of the MP3 players I've seen out there come with headphone jacks. You get cell phones today, they all come with Bluetooth, and Bluetooth is not good for you. You're not supposed to have Bluetooth in your head. I know this has Bluetooth, but I don't use it for Bluetooth. I mean, let me explain Bluetooth. So we're going to use this MP3 player and we're going to use the case. Okay. So say the MP3 player is the MP3 player with Bluetooth, and say the case is the person. And let's say this is like a portable speaker that takes Bluetooth, but it also has aux import. Let's say you have your MP3 player using the Bluetooth for the speaker, and you're playing music, and you're like right here, you're next to it. That's not good. You don't want those frequencies. That can damage your body. That can damage your brain. It's not good. It's unhealthy for the human body. It's unhealthy for the spirit. But say that this is you, and you're all the way say like you're somewhere way that way. Like you're somewhere over here. You're way far away, but to where you can still hear the music. That's fine. Like, see where I put it? I'm far away. Like I put the speaker. I put myself over there, the little blue thing. If I was over there, not next to it, that's fine. You know. Yes, I understand that frequencies travel and stuff, but you don't want to be using Bluetooth right up on your head, right next to your body. You want to be far away from it if you're going to do it. If not, don't do it at all. If not, use aux import. Use headphones. Okay. So this has a headphone jack, and there's the headphone jack right there. Okay. It also has a microphone next to the headphone jack. Um, See where my finger is right there? That little thing, that's a microphone jack. That's not the best part, though. Do you know what the best part is? This is a little mini computer. I'm going to explain. Okay. This uses USB C, okay, to charge it and to connect to your computer. Um, some other ones use micro USB, and then there's I think, some really old ones that take the old, as a matter of fact, I have one here, that take this old style USB, like the old GoPros. Jeez, let me get that in focus. Wait, see that? Okay. And by the way, this is like the very first GoPro. See? The very first Hero. I don't know if you can See that? Yep, I still got an original. I tried connecting it to my computer as a camera, but it that doesn't have that function. But hey, for an old camera, for the first GoPro, it works. So, so anyways, um, this takes a USB-C. It also has a speaker in the back, which is really nice. I love the fact that it has a speaker. Um, but the really neat feature, like the coolest feature out of this is the fact that, or I would say the coolest feature out of this is this slot right here. Now, some of you already know what this slot is, but for those of you who don't, take a wild guess. Well, what do you think this slot is for? Hmm? Do I need to show you my GoPro again, the action camera, to have you like know what this is? This slot is so basically you can add more storage on it. You can add up to 128 gigs on here. Okay, so you basically start off with a 64 gigabyte device, and then you can add up to 128. Now I calculated a second here. I calculated the math. Look at that. 64 plus 128 is 192 gigabytes. 192 gigabytes of storage for a little device like this. You know how much music that is for a little device like this? Yeah, I know. Today we have 4 terabytes, 1 terabyte, petabyte, you know. But back then, when I used to have my iPods, I remember the max was like 80 gigs, and that was a lot. We're talking late in the later years of the iPods. In the early years, I remember when 16 gigabytes was a lot. Like, whoa, they have 16 gigs now? Like, are you freaking kidding me? 16 gigabytes? So this is like 192. You know how many songs I could put on here? That's, I mean, and I haven't even filled this up yet. So that is a really cool feature. It's just like your cell phone, but in a MP3 player, because a lot of those MP3 players you see out there, they don't have this feature, and a lot of them do. You just but you see a lot of them that don't. They're just the simple MP3 players that they're like 16 gigs, and that's it. That's all you get, or they're 32 gigs, and that's all you get. You know, um, or whatever gigs they are. But this has expandable storage, and that is really really cool. I'm glad to see that. So long battery life, expandable storage, USB C, a headphone jack, a microphone, a recorder, and all the features inside, and a portable speaker. Which the speaker is great. Look, I have a pair of speakers right in front of me. They are what you would call studio speakers. Okay, um, I'm using a pair of studio headphones, and they're good quality. They're excellent. I have M Audio BX5As. Well, actually, one of them is a BX5A. The other one is the same thing, but they just took off the A. So I have a BX5A and a BX5 because I had to replace my other one, and they're great. 100, $105 studio speakers for whatever you want to use them for. And I also have other PC speakers laying around. I have some gateway speakers. I have some what's it called? Um, oh God, I have some Boston speakers, like the good quality old school ones. The Gateway speakers are to my old Gateway computer back when Gateway was making good quality speakers. So this speaker, compared to stuff like that, or compared to headphones or whatever, it's a good speaker. I mean, you know, it's not like you're not going to get studio quality. You're not even going to get some of the good headphone quality speakers, but like your $9 headphones, your $15 headphones, that's basically what this sounds like, you know, um, which is great. I mean, if I mean, hey, if you give this to a kid, who doesn't know anything about audio quality, speakers, any of that, and you give him a pair of, $9 headphones, $5 headphones, and then he plugs those in, puts them on, listens to music, takes them off, and then uses this speaker, he's not going to know the difference. He's going to be like, oh, cool. I can hear the music. Of course, just someone like me or someone who is an audio engineer or someone who's much more, who knows about sound and speakers and all that stuff. Yeah, they're going to know the difference in quality. But the fact that they added a speaker, I like it. Um, so I'm going to turn it on. See, Mechen. Actually, let me let you get a listen. I had the volume all the way up. Okay. All right. So I was trying to have you play, but watch. So the play button's right there. Oh wow, now it wants to do it. See, I tapped it at the right spot, but like I tapped it just a little bit under. Look, it's not even doing anything, and I'm tapping the screen. So you kind of have to go up. But I'll give you a listen. All right. So this is this is the so this is the MP3 player. Let's see. I can go here. I can go here. Let's see. See? So now playing. Um oh come on. See the user see it's kind of janky a little bit. You have to kind of tap it at the right place. But I can deal with it. Don't worry. I'm not, going to complain too much over just one little issue. But see, updates. Um but look at that. Oop, let me get that in the view. So, it has all this stuff like look at this. Look at all that stuff. Just for this little one. And there's themes for it. Look at the theme. You can't see the theme too much. Hold on. I did like that theme, but I have it on the black one. Uh, kind of like the old school MP3 players. I think I had it on the black one. Yeah, because the other ones, they were cool. And then, if you look at this, watch. I turn it on. Look at this. You can even have this as a theme when it opens up, just like your cell phone. Like, and it has an unlock screen. Like you swipe up. Look at that. Oop, let me swipe it up. Bam. Oop, let me get that into view. Hold on. So look, I'm gonna swipe it up. See that? That's you know, and basically you tap this little button right here for the on and off, and the screen thing. And you know what's really cool about MP3 players that cell phones do not do anymore because YouTube removed it as a basic feature free. I'm gonna swipe up. Okay. I'm gonna go to music. See, what was I playing? All right, now playing. Say this is playing, okay? I'm gonna play it. All right. So it's playing. Watch. See? You can actually have it in like kind of a sleep mode. So it saves your battery. Your cell phone cannot do that with YouTube or with other apps because They just don't allow it unless you pay the subscription, which is a really cool feature. And that's one of the reasons why I liked having a cell phone and being able to use the YouTube app, not the YouTube Music app, but the YouTube app to play music and then turn off the screen and save my battery. And then I won't accidentally in my pocket, whoops, whoops, whoops. Oh, I changed songs. Whoops, I changed videos. That sucks. The only way to combat that now with a cell phone is you have a folding case and you just do like this, put it in your pocket, and you won't touch, the screen, or your pants won't touch the screen. Yeah, sure, you could have one of those little, armrest things, but I don't want my cell phone there. Okay, so that's a really cool feature. Being able to do this while you're still playing. Oh, and look at this. So I have it on the screen, right? I'm gonna press this little button right here, this one right here, okay, and it's gonna unlock it. Look at that. That's another way. So this thing is cool, um, and stuff like that. So I I'll tell you, I like this MP3 player. I'm keeping it. Am I gonna buy another one? No, I'm just gonna have this one. When this breaks, sure. If Mechen still has this version, or they have the version 4, whichever version they have next, or whichever version is still there, um, then I will buy this one. Once it breaks. So I mean, it's great, and it even has time. It has date, month, year. I mean, it has everything, and it's a portable recorder. Think about those of you who you don't want to plug in a microphone to your camera, and you don't want to record that way. Like you basically have your camera. Okay, here I'll use this as an example. It doesn't have a microphone jack, but you have your camera. You plug in your microphone, and then you basically start recording. I don't have a microphone right here. I mean, I have these ones, but you get the idea. And these aren't headphone jacks, by the way. These are for TV and AV out, and stuff like that. To watch your videos on the TV, you can plug it in via those three cables. The what is it? The red, yellow, and white ones. But if you don't want to do that, this is a cheap portable recorder. Now, I showed you Michan has portable recorders. I can actually show you that right now. And like I said, this case is a really cool case. I mean, I'm gonna put it on for you. There's only one problem with this case though. When you use certain headphones, they don't plug in all the way because it's just how it's made here. Like the part that goes in here, the 3.5 millimeter part, certain ones, they don't stay in all the way, but other ones do. So I just want you to be aware of that. But it's really cool, and you can still record. Look at that; it still has a hole here for the whole. That's the microphone. Um, has a hole here for this. It has a hole here for this. I mean, it's really cool. Yeah, I'm sure a bunch of you wish that this was covered. That you could cover this so dust doesn't get in it. Same here. But I mean, hey, the fact that they give you a sleeve for it, at this price point, I can't complain. um, let's go back to their website. Uh, so they have two versions of the recorder. They have the VO2 64 gigabyte and VO1. Uh, if you want a video on recorders, I suggest you go watch Marcus Pick's video. Here, let me. All right. So watch both of these videos. Audio recorders, audio recording epic comparison, and he gave away a bunch of these recorders, by the way. Um, He goes really in depth about recorders. Um, I mean, he has cheap ones, expensive ones, consumer ones, professional ones, whatever. And then this is another one, best audio for video, and stuff like that. So watch all of this for audio, um, and stuff like that because I mean, he's just great. I love Marcus Picks. I think he's the best on YouTube so far. I watch other people, but like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to watch this. Huh. And best microphones for YouTube, Epic Video. I mean, just watch this one and then watch this one. So audio recorder Epic comparison, and then best audio for video part one, the long-awaited audio series intro. Okay. All right. So see, these are audio recorders. Look at that. And their website is kind of janky sometimes. Also, like, but I mean, stop, play, record. If you don't want to use uh some some microphone on top of your camera, this is another option. I personally don't do this because what you have to do, and Marcus Picks goes in depth in this, is you basically have to sync this up with your lips in the video. You have to do it in post, you have to do it in edit. And I mean, I'm sure once you get it down, you get it down. You don't have to worry. But really, like, I just like plugging in the camera. I mean, I just like setting up my camera, plugging in the microphone, and going like I'm doing here. I have my microphone plugged into my user interface. I have a camera on top of one of my speakers showing me, and then I have the camera on basically a tripod on this thing that kind of curves it, and then it's like looking down, showing the. As a matter of fact, I can show you right now. Let's see. See? Oh, ooh. Uh, ooh, that's not good. All right. Uh, Alrighty. Let's see if this. Okay, we're good. All right. So you see this setup right here. You. Actually, let me show you. I mean, look at this setup. I mean, this is my setup. I don't need some. Oh God. Okay. Hold on. You know what? Okay. Let me just turn off that light real quick. So you see, this is my setup. Let me close the curtains a bit. All right. I just had the curtains open so you could see the product better. But so this is my setup and stuff like that, which I will. I'm not gonna get into this video. This video is mostly about this Mechen MP3 player. I think what I'll do after this video is I'll create another one and we'll talk about setups. Um, and we'll go into depth and detail about setups and stuff. But this is basically my setup and it works. I don't have a problem with it, So um Yeah. Let me talk about setups in another video, but this is the Mechen MP3 player, and it's really good. It works really well. So would I recommend it? Yeah, I would recommend it. It's probably I probably didn't do like a full in-depth review, like 1 hour. I'm almost going an hour. But you get my point. You see, I'm an advocate for MP3 players. I think we need to get back to MP3 players. One, because you can't browse the internet on here. You cannot use YouTube. You can't use TikTok. You can't use all this crap. Uh, you know, I use it too. I mean, YouTube. I don't use TikTok. But um, basically, this is. I mean, sure, we shouldn't give these to kids at a young age. Um, but like this is a better option than a cell phone because they can't. All they could do is just have music on here, watch movies, look at pictures. What else can they do on here? I mean, they could use it as a personal recorder if they want to record themselves and make funny noises and stuff. Cool. I used to do that as a child. Back when we had like Microsoft Windows 98, Windows XP, and NT and all the old Windows, there was this program that you could record yourself and then you could change the voice. I used to do that on my computer as a child just to mess around. And you could play little music to it and stuff like that. It was really cool. um I want to call it Microsoft Tunes, but that's there wasn't anything like that. It wasn't like a music software thing. It came with Microsoft. It was like it was the Microsoft Recorder. That's what it was. So, and what I used to use as a microphone to record myself was a PC microphone. The ones that you plugged into the back of your PC, the old school microphones that were just like they were like white, and you maybe I could show you on here. Let's see. Uh, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm supposed here. I'll show you in the next video. Let me. So basically, that's what I used to do. So, you know, I think these are great. I think everyone should have one. You could have one of these for your car. Play the Bluetooth. You don't have to use your phone. You could charge this up in the car. Use your phone for emergencies. Use it for like, hey, I'm at the grocery store. Hey, I got in a car accident. Hey, did you pick up the kids? Or you know what I mean. Um, but get one of these for music. These, I think, are gonna make a comeback. You know, I think these are gonna come back, and I think these are gonna dominate again. So, um, yeah, I hope you like this video. Um, about this MP3 player. I think it's a really good MP3 player. I love it. I'm actually gonna. So there's a reason why I got this MP3 player. Actually, I want to get into that before I close. The reason why I got this MP3 player is because I want to do dance videos. Now, what I've been looking at is portable speakers, ones that you can plug in and into like a wall socket, but that also run off of like batteries or that run off of like a USB-C cable, you know, USB micro cable, whatever, mini, whatever. Because I've been looking at those, but I also got this. I got this because I want to do dance videos, and I want to see how I improve on my dancing, break dancing, rave dances like the Melbourne Shuffle, you know, the Android dance, b-boying, all that. I'm 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 not great. I'll tell you this. My dancing is okay. It sucks, but it's okay. So I I was like, well, okay, I want something that I can hear stuff in my head, in my ears. But the portable speaker, yeah, is for that too. I'm gonna put it beside me and then play the music. I do have an actual boombox, an old school like 90s like it's not square. It's like more the kind of rounded shape boombox that takes four of the big batteries. Takes these kind. And I can actually plug in this MP3 player to that boombox. It doesn't have a an audio jack, like an aux import, but what it does have is tape players. And I do have a tape to MP3. One of those old school, like when MP3s were first coming out, uh, around the era that cars still had tape players in them, and you could plug in an MP3 player. Uh, like you could plug in that tape thing to the MP3 thing, and then you put the tape thing into the car, and then you would play your music that way. That's actually what I used to do with my old Honda. I had a tape player when I had my iPods. Man, me and my buddies were bumping back then. So that's one of the reasons why I got this MP3 player. And when I go on long trips, I want to be able to have music for hours. I don't just want to be like, crap, my cell phone. Now I need to call someone. Oh, crap, I need to look up something on the internet. Oops, I used it all for music. No, I want this. So, hey, here's what I want everyone to do. I want, I, I, I want everyone to go buy an MP3 player. Just go buy a Mechen, go buy, and don't go buy the Android ones, the ones that use apps. Go buy an old school MP3 player that just is like this. It's like the old iPod Nanos, iPod Shuffle, MP3 players, and just have them put all the music on them, and then stop using your cell phone and see what happens. Let's 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 get these big companies to make MP3 players again. Let's get Apple to make an iPod again. Let's go back. Let's go backwards. It's not bad to go backwards. So, all right. So I'm gonna get off this one. I'm gonna do another one right after this. After this post, and then I'm basically gonna talk about setups and stuff like that. Let me, yeah. So let me do that. Oh, and actually, before I get off, I've been taking lots of photos. I've been going out shooting some video. So I'm gonna do kind of like a collage video of the photos I took, and I just want your opinion on them. Hey, you want to give me the middle finger and say "fuck you"? All right, sweet. I'm awesome. I'm all for that. You want to say "damn, you're a professional"? I'm all for that too. I just, I just want to see the opinions of the people. Do I think my photos look great after editing? I did soft edits. Yeah, they look okay. I haven't reached a level to where I can say comfortably, you know, hmm, I'm making money doing it. And wow, my photos are even in magazines or on some website. Or maybe lots of people are just downloading them because I like them and they're printing them and posting them, you know, up on their walls in their rooms. But for now, eh, they're okay. So, all right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and share, or don't. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You know, uh, it's up to you what you want to put, and get this video out there, or don't get it out there. Like I'm the one putting the videos out, but if you want the world, to see it, if you want to tell other people about it, if you don't, it's up to you. I mean, if you just want to watch it for yourself and then not share it with anyone else, that's on you. I mean, after I post the video. So, all right. God bless all of you. We're going to do a prayer. Dear God, I want you to bless this world, and I want you to bless everyone. I want to make sure that everyone is safe, and make sure that I'm safe, and make sure that everyone has food on the table. Bless everyone's food. Bless their hearts. Bless their spirits. And you know, I would just hope that everyone does right going forward and makes this world a better place by listening to you, God, because you're the one and only God. Alrighty. Amen. Alrighty, guys. Bye. It's a Candy Kid signing out. Bye bye.